Hello traders, it's 𝗬𝗏𝗧𝗿𝗍 here. Welcome to this video on how to day trade any market, the $1,000 a day challenge. As I always say to the young guns, if $1,000 a day is not enough for you, we simply increase the position size. In today's session, we're going to be reviewing a number of live trades that I took on the ES. In fact, I'll play back the recording I'll try to cut it through some of it because it was over about 20 minutes, I think, if I remember correctly. So we'll whiz through and I'll just show you my entries, my exits, and explain the logic behind the trades. Now we are going to be focused on the ES. If you're not familiar with the ES, you can trade the micro nowadays. So the micro contract, $1.25 a tick or $5 a point. And as you build your account, you can then advance to the big contract at $50 a point or $12.50 a tick, because what's absolutely critical, traders, is money management. And the mistake that I still see traders make every day, they try to trade a market where they just don't have the right amount of capital. They're undercapitalized, and it's like going into a business where you just don't have that right capital and you end up going broke. So you can start on a micro and build to a large contract, which I'll show you. I'll give you a couple of ideas on that in this recording as well. Very quickly, there is a risk in trading. Please feel free to pause the recording if you wish to read the disclaimer on risk. Very quick advertisement. If you haven't already downloaded my free ebook on the truth about day trading, please see the description link below. Better still, become a member for $297. You get all of my indicators, access to probably one of the world's most comprehensive members areas for traders. And so there's 35 PowerPoints, there's dozens of videos, there's hundreds of hours of recordings. And let me just calm you down a little bit, there is no need to watch them all. I recommend, out of the 15-16 strategies that I trade, you only focus on 2 to begin with, and I show you which ones they are and get you on the road. And I'll point those out as we go to the recordings as well. On top of that, included in the 297, you've got the lifetime access to the members area, all of the videos, all of the updates, but also you can attend 8 of my live sessions. They go for 2 hours. They are recorded if you can't attend, all included within 297. No other fees or charges. That is it, lifetime access. Let's now move on. One thing, sorry, forgot to say, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel so you'll be kept up to date with all of my videos. Traders, this would be a game changer for 98% of the population to be earning $1,000 a day, $5,000 a week. Now in today's session, we're actually going to be trading and going for a larger target. That is, if you wish to say keep your capital requirements down, you can start on lower time frames, such as, believe it or not, the 1 tick ES Renko. Today I'm going to be showing you how I trade the 2 tick, but I'm also going to show you, I've just fired off a trade and we'll quickly look at that on gold. It's fairly quiet this time of day. By the way, it's 11:26 p.m. Central Standard Time. We've got the London Open in around 2.5 hours, so it's fairly quiet, and that is where usually we'll drop down the time frames, but you'll find there's not a lot of trades at times. However, gold is hot right now, so I'll show you some of the trades. So rather than going for the home runs, I like to just get on base. That movie Moneyball, just get on base. And just by getting on base, traders, let me tell you, you can make a great deal of money scalping the markets. Get in, get out, get paid. Now how do we do this? Now Mark Douglas, who wrote the great book The Disciplined Trader, as he states, if you want to become an expert, choose one simple trading system that identifies a pattern. All of my strategies are all based on patterns, because as humans we're very good at visualizing, very good at identifying patterns, so it makes trading so much easier. Now what we want to be doing here, traders, if you're a new trader or an experienced trader that's finding things tough, we want to be trading in direction of the higher time frame. For an example, wait till I show you this little gold trade I just fired off. You'll see there I was looking at the higher time frame, and it just gave me a superb entry, a plain vanilla entry that everyone watching this video could have identified. And that's what's critical with your trading, that you have easy to identify patterns, and I'll show you those in a moment. Now you'll notice that I trade mainly on Renko and tick charts. You can trade using any chart time frame or chart type I should say, and time frame of course, but actually there's a qualifier on the time frame. You've got to be trading a time frame that is what we call tradable. It's no good trying to trade a time frame where it's just the market's going like that. You'll just get killed. Okay, so I've got to be careful when I say that. All right, so let's just quickly on paper just look at a screenshot. And this is Monday the 10th of November. So if you're watching this, it's I'm actually recording this on Wednesday morning my time, but this is Tuesday evening, so the very next day I'm recording this US time. Now oh yeah, no, that's right, it's all right. I'm just thinking all right, I fired off 6 trades for 5 winners, and one of them really I had no business of being in. There it is, just there. I really shouldn't have taken that, but a with trend trade, a reversal trade, just a very easy with trend trade. I should not have taken that. It was a bit of a gamble, and I'll show you the anchor chart in a moment why I took it. I should have been in that one there. This one here, no brainer, and I'll show you why. And this one here, and if ever you use fib, that was a 55% retracement, which is really the final prompt to take this trade. Not that I'm huge on fibs, but if you're familiar with Fibonacci, and if ever you're unsure on the trade, it can be an additional help. And you can, if you don't use that, you can see down here, this is a MACD BB, which you don't have to use, but see how the midline's green, see how the midline's red. This is just a big prompt here. We want to look for shorts, we want to look for shorts, we want to look for longs. So indicators, which is a great debate all the time about indicators. Indicators I find is a great tool. You could be a pure price action trader and just be trading these EMA bounces as an example, but if ever I'm unsure of a trade, my indicators just give me that extra support. Now on the anchor chart, here's what my anchor chart looks like. I've discovered many years ago a sequence of numbers to use when I set up my anchor chart 1 and 2. So I'll use 3 charts: an entry chart, anchor chart 1, which is critical, anchor chart 2, which is not so critical, but I'll refer to occasionally. Here are the 6 trades that I took on the higher time frame. Now what you can see here with trend, reversal, with trend, the trade that I took that sometimes they work out but it didn't, and I should have been in there, that was the no-brainer. And I then took this one, the 55% retracement, which was also what we call a slingshot, and if I hadn't have already hit my target, I would have been in down here on this particular trade just there. We call this one a bet the farm. There's a good reason for it. It's very high probability setup when traded correctly. Once again, it's a pattern. All of these are patterns. Now here's the negative to all of this. On here I'm trading the 2-tick ES. Now I know your broker can tell you can trade intraday with a $500 margin. Well, traders, a great way to blow your money. Okay, you need to have to trade the 2-tick 6,250. Why? We never ever risk more than 2%. Okay, which in this case is $125. If you don't have that, you start on the micro with 625 and you build, and I'll show you how to do this. And you can see there, in under a year, traders, you've built your account there. You're earning your 10 grand a week. I've got to say potentially legally. Your account size is at where it is there. So let me quickly show you this, and the reason being, you've got to have clarity, traders, knowing where you're heading with your career. Now if you trade the 2-tick micro with a 10-tick stop, your stop loss is going to be $12.50. you go and earn $32 a day, and I'll show you how to do that in a moment, which is only 26 ticks a day. Within 12 weeks you've now got over 7,000. You can roll over and start trading the big contract. How this compound table works also, you only start trading an additional contract when you double your money. So when you're up to 1260, you now start trading 2. So this is trading with the market's money. Now once we get up to 6,250, we can roll over within 11 weeks trading 8 contracts, netting 313 a day, which is only 26 ticks a day after commissions. Okay, you've got your 10 grand a week income. Look where you are potentially there within 14 weeks. Now if you think this is all BS, well, wait till we get to the charts and I'm going to show you how to do this. The challenge is, it's not whether the strategy works, it's whether you follow the rules of a strategy. Okay, impatience is just one of the biggest killers when it comes to, and lack of discipline. Now what if you're a nervous Nelly? What if you've blown your account a number of times, or you want to be very conservative? And what if we need to develop your belief? See, I run a live trading room as well, and so this is what I teach all of my traders in the room, is if they've had negative experiences in the past, how do you build that confidence again? Evidence. That's how you build it, by kicking some goals. Now you may choose, you might be a retiree, you might be someone that just wants to really just have a cruisy lifestyle. So here, if you're going on a micro, $15 a day, and you execute, and I'll show you how to do this, 3 net trades a day, that's $18.75 a day. Within 24 weeks you've got your 700 a week income, and you've got 64,000 where you can roll over now and start trading the big contract. What you may even choose to do then, and all you need is 2 7-tick trades a day, and I'll show you what those are, which will net you 165. Within a further 22 weeks you're now up to 5 grand a week income, 50,000, or 28 weeks later you've now got your 10 grand a week, just cruising. 2 7-tick trades a day, 2 trend following EMA bounces. Now there's specific patterns that will give you these high probability setups, which I'll show you. Now there are some considerations. Now fortunately, thanks to modern trading platforms, all of these can plot automatically on your charts. Now if you're a brand new trader, you might be thinking, how am I going to learn all of this? Now I want you to change that around and say to yourself, isn't this interesting? And thanks to modern charting platforms, all of these will plot automatically, and Ray is going to show me how to trade these, because these are all what we call price magnets and support resistance levels. So let me now play this recording. Now what I'm going to do is skip through some of it, because I'll just there were 6 trades here. It's over 13 minutes. There's no need for us to watch it all, but I'm going to walk you through what I'm looking for. Now if you're a brand new trader, don't try to do this on your own. Get there. It's a bit like trying to read a book on how to swim or how to play the piano. Okay, you need an instructor to show you how to do it. There's so many little things that can go wrong, but once identified what can go wrong and knowing how to handle it, it takes care of that, such as the type of entries. Now what I've just done here is taken this entry. This is a trend continuation, like we had one here. That was a beautiful reversal there. And I should just point this out. This is a 2-tick Renko. What that means is it's offset by 1. Each one of these little steps, I call these steps, is worth $12.50. You want 26 of those a day. Okay, and that's basically a home run there. Hand on heart, I don't go for home runs, and the reason being, I'm a scalper. You know, I might go for maybe 12 ticks, but I'm not going to go for 20 odd. I'd rather get in, get out, get paid. That suits my personality. So here had an entry. If you took the reversal there, now what I'm pointing out here is plain vanilla, everybody would identify once you understand the rule. You had one there, had one there, had one there, and this is the one I've taken just here. Now you may notice, you'll see in a moment, that quite often I will have or put in place a buy order or a sell order well in advance of the market, and I'll show you how. Oh, well, actually you've already seen my anchor chart. My anchor chart tells me, using an indicator or a certain methodology, where to put my buy order, where to get in. Now where to get out can be slightly discretionary. For an example, we're at the high of day right now. Now with the high of day, we tend to generally keep pushing our way through. Now I'm about to go to break even here, and you'll see in a moment that it'll go up there and it'll push through anyway. Now what you'll see is, at times, like I'm trading 8 contracts here, the number of contracts I trade is depending on the capital requirements. Whoops. Now did you just see that there? Now let me just go back one little bit there. See here, I've got a sell stop order in. That's based upon a reversal I'm predicting, but it's got to hit a certain point to qualify. So as we're about to see, it comes down, it will hit that point, and bang, I'm in. So here I've got an 8 tick target. Now if you're trading the 2 tick Renko and you want to have your stop 1 tick above, 1 tick below, 1 tick above the high, 1 tick below the swing, your stop is going to be between 9 and 10 ticks. Okay, we're about to get filled here. Now you'll see quite often I will extend this target out for a 1-to-1 ratio, and there we've just been filled, hit our target. And you don't always have to have, and let me just stop that right here, to have a 10 tick target. There are things you can do to keep that, or to minimize that. If you've got a larger target, or if I've got a larger stop, it's usually because I'm watching what's happening on the anchor chart. Anyway, that's a bit beyond this video. This is a really plain vanilla entry just here. See that white dot there, this white dot, this white dot? They're excellent. I call those T20s in identifying potential reversals. That's a potential reversal, but we still have strong uptrending EMAs. And what does that mean? Trend continuation. Now this one here I call a T20-1. Doesn't matter why I call them that at the moment, but they're very high probability. When you break this EMA, we usually come down to this EMA, and this is what you'll soon discover. And once again I'll show you a couple of things. I'm just watching through a corner of my eye what's been happening on the ES, and I'll quickly show you that in a moment. So anyway, my target is down here. Now this is an extended target, so we may not hit it. So we'll actually see, I think I went down and started to trail as we started to move down just here. So just move this along a little bit. So just here I'm now trailing here, because we may not, and you can see there I get stopped out. Nice little profit still. Okay, I'd moved my stop down, and now I've got a trade here, and this is a silly one that I took. Look, I won't get into reasons, but it just reminded me of a two-legged pullback somewhat, and I was bouncing on a higher time frame, but it was a very high risk trade. Now the cost of this, by the way, is not just in dollars, but then straight after this it was a beautiful short. Now I want you to remember the term full over gold. See that gold line there, and see how I'm blue? We want to be trading in the direction overall of the blue cloud. See, now I've got an orange cloud. You want to be trading in the direction of the orange cloud. Most important is very good logical reasons why we do that. Now in a moment I'm going to get stopped, and this is where just a very high probability trade was setting up, but I was already committed to this one. Now I don't stop and reverse, and the reason that is, get out of that and reverse, because sometimes when you do that, it can do something like that there. It can come down and then go back in the original trade direction. So a stop out is a stop out, and I'll just then look for a new setup. So let me just go along here a little bit, and we'll just see here in a moment we're coming down, and I'm about to get stopped on this trade down here. Now excuse me. Okay, so now I'm stopped, and now I'm looking for the next setup. Now let me just show you this here. We're coming down, and what am I looking for? Let me show you back on that PowerPoint. Where are you? So let's just go back to this. Here's what I'm looking at on my higher time frame, major EMAs. See how we bounce off this set of EMAs. Now certainly there's more than that than we look at. See here how that black line there turns right on a dime. I call that my trigger line. It's basically a triple smooth weighted moving average, but look how it turns. And so I've had it coded where also I can have the arrows help identify the reversals. Now for the arrow itself, by the way, that does not appear until the close of the second candle. Okay, so you're not going to be until later. But what this tells me, you had a beautiful setup there. It's hard for you to see there, but there's little Renko, see those little black tails with Renko candles? They're actually called continuation setups. You had one here for short trade I went against. So the safest form of trading is to either trade the turns or to be trading in the direction of the EMAs. Oh look, and this is just excuse me, look, we may as well just show you this trade here. This is the one I just took on gold a few minutes ago. Not that I want to distract us from this video. Now we look at this here, looks choppy as all hell, doesn't it? Well, let me show you something. Let's go to, and here it is actually right here. Look at this on the higher time frame. Now I don't want to trade the higher time frame on its own, because you miss out on too many really good additional trading setups. However, I took this trade based upon a turning point just there. Now once again, this is not rocket science. Now I was up about $1,300 and here it shows 1,500, but I also had taken an ES trade, which I will show you as well. Now the reason I was trading gold, the ES has been really quiet, but gold, look how much movement we've had, and you can see it ticking away real time right now. The challenge is with gold is your account size. However, you've got micros you can trade, which has got incredible volumes nowadays. Gold has totally changed compared to last year, where typically on the micros we would see 60,000 contracts a day turnover. Nowadays we see 400,000 contracts a day. Okay, it's just a total different market. So and those little black dots, it's just to help identify swing points. Now if we now look at the ES, now with the ES, unfortunately I went to break even plus a couple of ticks, so I was long 8 contracts. It rallied up. Here's my entry down here, just a plain vanilla entry. Rallied up. I think I hit +7 or whatever I hit, I can't remember now, and automatically I go to break even. I'm not going to give that back, and I locked in 2 ticks and it come back down and stopped me out at +2 ticks. Then it continued. So traders, what can you see just here can you see the pattern? I've gone from an orange cloud to a blue cloud. Look at my indicators down here. What's the trend direction? Up, up. MACD BB is up. Here is, and I was about to start recording here, so it's now what is it here? It's now 40 minutes later, but here was a secondary entry, and up we went. Now just here you had a little bit of divergence, but we don't want to trade that. But you can see here I've made a new higher high. Now what I want you to watch is when I pull back, you can see here my trade line here, trigger line is black heading down, which means do not take any of these potential setups until here. see how now I've got the arrow here. Now I've got multiple ways of entering this trade. I can wait for the 16 hook. I can wait for the white paint bar, which is my super scalper. But the most important thing is I've got to bounce off major EMAs on not only the entry chart but the anchor chart 1. Makes it a very high probability trade. And where's this go? Bang. And this is live. Okay, so here, what's that, 15 20 ticks maybe, right? Remember, each one of these steps is worth 1 tick. Now if we look at this here, and now we've got, for members watching, it's nearly a T3, by the way. If you're watching as a member, it's nearly a T3. So which is a reversal pattern that sometimes it's a reversal pattern where you don't have to have divergence. It's what we call a reversion to the mean. But the safest form of trading was this one down here, a T10, was this one right here. This one here was a 2B, following the trend. Remember, you only need 26 of those a day. Now back onto the recording here. So what you can see here with my entries, I'm just following exactly what I was just talking about. For an example, that's the one I miss. So as I'm coming down, I'm looking at my anchor chart. So coming down, coming down, coming down, coming down, and in a moment you'll see me put my buy stop order in. Now right now I don't have an order in. I'm watching what's happening on my anchor chart. A very simple rule to follow. One thing I'm looking for on my higher time frame. Okay, and so I'm just waiting for that. Now I've put in, you can notice I've even got a reversal candle, yet I'm putting in a buy stop, the stop limit order up here to buy right here based upon what's happening on the higher time frame, and it's reversing. Now what if it kept falling? Okay, I'll look for another setup. I scrap this one, it's no longer applicable. But at this stage it still qualifies should what I'm looking for on the anchor chart there. And now I'm in the trade now, and you can see here I've got a target up here, and if I remember correctly, did I think that's just the 8 tick. Did I increase it to 10? I can't remember now. So up here we're now heading up. Now this is always a bit of a danger zone just here. See how we've rolled over. Now remember I spoke to you about the orange cloud, which is trending down. However, I'm looking at what's happening on the higher time frame. Okay, so that was fairly quick. So let me just go back, because this is actually, it moved quite fast here, right? So that's real time. Okay, so then we got filled and we're out. Now I'm now looking at my anchor chart here where I've got a slingshot. I'd even put in just show me putting the I've got a fib tool, a really cool Fibonacci extension tool that I use. So that is a 55 retracement, just a nice little confirmation in what I was doing. So I've adjusted my stop there. I've got a 10 tick stop, and down we come, and I find some support right there at the higher time frame EMA, and potentially a bit of a bounce. I'm just bringing my stop down, by the way, so I'm 1 tick above the high, and I'll just move this along a little bit. And for members watching this is basically a little T20-1 and a T10 setting up, by the way. So let's just see here. There it is there. So there's your T10. Major problem is you're just sitting on a major EMA, but I've taken this trade based upon the higher time frame. We're finding some support, then finally we punch through. Now I actually trailed here, and the reason I trailed down was very good chance we could bounce in this area, and down here, down we go, and it continued after that. So I got filled. Thank you very much. Now traders, everything I've shown you here, okay, remember before I said we had a T3 setting up reversal? Here it is right here. Now this is not rocket science. It's all about patterns. How did I predict a potential reversal? It's a pattern. There's a pattern that jumped out. I could tell you it was a T3. So traders, why don't you come and join me if you want to master the art of day trading? This is not rocket science. You get to attend some of my live sessions where I'm teaching you step by step how to trade. You get 8 of those. You've got, as I mentioned, dozens of videos, everything, and there's trading indicators for a number of platforms, TradeStation, NinjaTrader, they're all in here. Now if I don't have an indicator coded for your platform, I give you the settings that I use anyway. Okay, so you can actually set up and model my charts on virtually any modern charting platform. So if you're not using NT8 or TradeStation, you can use any other platform. So you get all of that lifetime access, including any upgrades for $297. Hope to see you as a member. Thank you traders, and I hope you got some ideas out of this session.